Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode I'm going to show us how to make a pleated bodice with a butterfly sleeve. My name is Ajilan. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you get to know anytime I post new videos. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the love and support. I really appreciate you. So if you're interested in this topic, let's get started. To achieve this look, the first thing you're going to do is to take your bodice pattern and then cut it out on whatever fabric you want to use for the bodice part. So as you can see, I am using my satin for the bodice part, and then the plate is going to be only on the front side. For the back side is going to be plain. So I'm going to be pleating horizontally and vertically as well. I just want it to be exactly as it is on the thumbnail. But before this part, I'm going to start with the butterfly sleeve. That part is a little tricky, so I'll just start with that and then we'll come back to the pleating part of this front side. So to create a butterfly sleeve, all you need to do is to grab your pattern paper and then fold it same way you want to fold if you're making a full circle. Okay, so your paper should be in 4 folds, as you can see. Then you fold again. All right, and then you're going to decide what to use as the length of your sleeve. Now this is for a little baby, so for the sleeve length I'll be making it just 4 inches, and then I'll be adding my ½ inch sewing allowance only. Remember that the sewing allowance is going to be only at the shoulder area. The round sleeve part is going to be plain because I'll be using net for that side. So I'm working with 4½ inches sleeve length. So I'm going to mark that out from this point. Just mark whatever you want to use as your sleeve length, including your sewing allowance. So this is my 4½. I'm going to mark this and then cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll open it up again to create the butterfly effect, and then you can decide to create your sleeve plain or make it pleated or even gathered. It's up to you, but for this I'm going to gather it so that it's going to have a little volume on that shoulder area. So this is my 4 inches. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Now this is what I have. I am going to get the midpoint of this full circle that I have here. Okay, as you can see, this is the midpoint. I'm going to make it visible so you can see it clearer. Okay, from this point, this is it. I'm going to connect this other side as well. Okay, so this is the midpoint now. So from this line that is facing me, we're going to be working from this line. So what you're going to do now is to use your armhole measurement for both the front and back, and then divide by 6.28, which is the formula for a full circle. Now for this particular edge, the armhole length is 4 inches for front and 4 inches for back, making it 8 inches. So just work with your own measurement. So we're going to divide 8 by 6.28, and I'm going to have 1.27. So if you've been following me, you will understand that most times I don't include what I have after this dot. I start with the first number that I have here, because most time if you use everything that you have here, you're going to have a very wide flay after cutting it out. So I normally start with the first number and then check what I have before knowing what to do for the rest of it. That is, if the 1 inch or if whatever you're using is not up to the waist or the measurement that you're working with. So this is 1 inch. All I'm going to do is to mark 1 inch now from this center point. So I'll just mark 1 inch here. Okay, so this is the midpoint now. I'm going to place my tape there now, as you can see, and keep on marking the 1 inch to form a circle, and then you're going to connect it to form a circle, and it should not exceed this center point. So this is what I have. So after cutting it out, if by the time I measure it, if I don't have up to 8 inches, all I need to do is to cut it out a bit until I have what I need. So I'll just go ahead now and fold it now from this 1 inch. This is where I'm going to be folding it, not from this center line. Okay, so this is where I'll be folding it now, and then I'm going to cut out this small circle. So go ahead and cut, and my butterfly sleeve is ready. All I need to do now is to use the slash and spread method to create the ruffles I want the sleeve part to have. Now I will use my tape and go around to check if I have up to 8 inches. Okay, so I'm just placing my tape this way to be sure that I have up to 8 inches. If it's not up to, I will just cut it out a bit until I have up to 8 inches. So this is 7.5. All I need to do, like I said earlier, is just to extend it a little. Okay, and you have what you need. Okay, so this is it. Now I'm going to use place this on my net. After slashing it open, I'll just slash it open using these 4 lines, and then just spread it a bit because we're only gathering this part. Okay, so you just spread it out a bit and then cut, after which you're going to gather it to, you know, the volume that you prefer. So I'll quickly do that so we can go back to the pleated bodice. I have my butterfly sleeve ready, as you can see. So I have 4 pieces here. 2 is going to be for one side and the other 2 for the other side. So I'm going to give it a little a little gather till I have the 8 inches, which is supposed to be for this armhole area. So we will move back to the pleated part, which is the front. Okay, so this is it. So after cutting out using your pattern to cut out on your satin, you're going to be cutting out on your net as well. So this will help to close up or to cover your satin so that it will not be visible by the time you place the plate on them. Alright, so we're going to be starting with the vertical plate. Okay, so this, you can see the way I am placing it, because at the end of the day I don't want the satin to be that visible. Okay, so this is it. Now my plate, I am going to place them on this one after pleating. So I'll just keep this aside. I'm just showing you so that you see what you have at the end of the day. So I'm going to keep this aside and work with this. Okay, so this is where I'll be placing my plate. So the first thing to do is to measure your bodice length. For this it is 8 inches, and then you can add extra 2 inches to that and then cut it out on your net. You can see I have 10 inches here, and this is up to 2 yards. Okay, this way is up to 2 yards, and then the height is by 10 inches. So this is what I'll be using now for the plate. So I'll just start from this side. Like I said, I'll be starting with the first one, which is the vertical one. So this is the way I am going to do it. So I'm going to pin it here on the side. Okay, so I'll just pin it here. If you want, you can also just go ahead and plait before placing it on this other one, but I'm using this method so that even if you're a beginner, you can easily do this. So after pinning it, you're going to start pleating. Okay, starting from there, you can see what I have. You're going to pleat both ends and then you pin it. Okay, so this way, I know it will take a little time, but you have it perfect after sewing. Okay, you're going to pleat both ends. So this is how I'll just keep on pleating. After pleating, I will now take it to my sewing machine to secure them nicely. You can see that I'm using the knife pleat method. Okay, I'm pleating the second one again. Just follow it that way until you cover up all that you have here. So I would also like to remind us that our online classes are on. If you're interested in any of them, kindly send me a WhatsApp message on the number that I'll be dropping in the description box to know more details about the classes. So I'll just quickly plait and then secure it nicely before plating the horizontal part. All right. So after joining the vertical plate, you can see what I have. All you need to do is to trace out your pattern or the initial bodice pattern. Then you just trace it out, as you can see the way mine is. And then for the horizontal plate, you're going to decide where you want it to start or end. So to make it easier, you can check what you have from this armhole point here to the waistline and then divide by 2, or you can even decide to place it where you want yours to be. So for this, mine is, this is 4 inches. I can decide to make it half of that is 2. Like I said, it's up to you. You can decide to place yours where you want the plate to be. Now this is what I'll be using for the horizontal plate, and this is what I have left from this other one. So I'm going to place, you can see that my net is already folded. I have like 2.5 or 3 inches on fold. Okay, so this is 2.5. I'm going to maintain the 2.5. It's already on fold, so you need to fold it and then make sure that the end of the fold will match up. You can see what I have here is matching up with the waist measurement. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're going to have a very neat work. So we are going to start pleating now. So if you want to pleat, all you need to do is to pleat only on this one, not together with this one that is matching with the waist line. So I'll just pin it. I'm going to pin this one first so that it will give me room to pleat the other side. Okay, so I've pinned this end. So I'll just turn it over, and I'm using the same method. Like I said earlier, I'm going to cut this out to make it easier for me. I am only working with this. So I'm going to take only this one up and continue the fold. Okay, you can see that I'm repeating what I just did on the vertical part, just that this side now is facing this other way. And then you're going to pin as well. After pinning, you're going to secure it very neat. You can see that it's very easy. All you need to do is just to take your time so you can get it right. So go ahead and continue that way until I have it on this waistline. Then you're going to give it a very good press so that it's going to lap very well. Then after doing that, I am going to gather my sleeve. Remember that the sleeve, I said I will gather it a little. That is the butterfly sleeve. I'm going to gather it a little, and then you're going to be joining that as well. And the bodice is almost ready. So let me quickly finish with this one. And then here is my sleeve. All I need to do is to pull it together a bit until I have the armhole measurement I am working with, and mine is 8, so I'll just pull it together until I have 8 inches. Okay, so after doing that, you will now take the back now and join it together. Do the same on the lining. If you're a returning subscriber, you should know how to close up the bodice part. I have so many videos on that, So I'm going to take it one at a time. I'm going to close up this part and give it a good press, then join this before adding the sleeve. Alright, after doing the second plate, this is what my bodice looks like, and you can see that I've joined my sleeve. So I'm going to take the lining. I am using the same satin as the lining, so I'll just place it over like this, making sure that the wrong side or the right side is facing each other, and then we are going to close it all up. So you're going to close the armhole and then the neckline, and then we're going to turn it inside out. So after turning it inside out, I will now close the sides and then join the skirt part. Now to join the skirt part, all you need to do is just to place it, measure what you have, and make sure that what you have after joining the side matches with the skirt part. So I'll just quickly do that and then show you the final look of this dress.